He's a modern-day Pied Piper of sorts. His young followers watch wide-eyed as he makes their special days events of wonderment and education. He's John Marek of West Michigan, and he loves to entertain adults as well as children. We featured John, or Johnny as he's affectionately called, on past Michigan Magazine programs as part of the traveling entertainment duo Spanky and Johnny, the accordion and banjo-picking duo that appear at county fairs and special events circuit with their unique style of classic and toe-tapping sing-along music. While on his own, Johnny performs at libraries and special civic events around the state, posing as not only John Marek, the magician and storyteller, but also as his favorite classic American hero, Johnny Appleseed, spreading not only apple seeds, but also seeds of educational historic tidbits for the young and young at heart. We followed John Marek and Johnny Appleseed around northern Michigan and were amazed at how he connected to his audience of kids and kids at heart.
The kids are the important thing, so I don't force nothing on them. They'll come to me, and I'll usually have a puppet or something and get their attention and go from there.
You kind of take a look at the age group too and decide which direction to go to, right?
Right. Today we had a lot of preschool, and they're not really interested in sleight of hand or any magic or anything, but they like to play, and it's amazing that how their eyes and how their attention is focused right on what we're doing.
You get into a little bit of education for them with the magnetic figures and stuff like that. You're stimulating them, and you're kind of teaching them without them actually knowing it.
I agree. The kids are the show. The kids are the show, and some of the ones that are a little bashful, you kind of have to win them over. You have to win them over. They're kind of hesitant. Well, they're not going to come to you, or they're not going to be entertained by you whatsoever. But then the longer you work with them, you win them over, and that's the best part.
You're used to a situation where the kids are gathered around you, and you put on an actual show. It goes from one subject to another subject. Today I thought you were a real trooper out there. You were kind of following the kids around, and the kids were coming to you. The weather was out in the open. It was kind of, well, let's just play it by ear.
The kids were great. The kids were great. With their runny noses and their red cheeks. They just kind of forgot all about the cold, and we had fun.
You're an entertainer throughout the state at county fairs or, venues like that. But what is it about kids that, is something that, you can relate to?
I feel real comfortable. I feel real comfortable, and they trust me. They trust me. I tease them, and they like that. And I think that's pretty much what it is. They're
probably going to remember meeting you for many years of their life. They'll probably think back, I remember, John Marek.
They're little kids. They're little kids, and let them be little kids and have fun. Like today, it was their show. If they weren't interested, that's fine. That was fine. We just let it go.
Have a lot of fun.
They
were out there today drawing on the sidewalks, making their own sundaes, and listening to you in the cool weather and having a good time and coming over to you and your magic tricks. It's a kind of a world of wonder. So are you planning on making your presentations available to anybody in the state?
I'd like to do more schools. I'd like to I do some reading programs in the local schools. And I really like doing that. I'd like to do that.
I think the key to your presentation is you draw the kids in to become a part of whatever you're doing. Hands-on experience is the name of your game.
Right. I draw stories. I draw the characters of the stories. And then I hand out the drawings to the children after the story's done, and they can color them. And that's going over really well at the libraries. The Johnny Appleseed story, I'm really impressed with the character. He's just amazing, man.
So you're drawing right into the character, eh?
Yeah, I do right into the character, and I've got presentation of his gravesite, and I belong to the Johnny Appleseed Society. I've been to his museum. I do a great job with the Johnny Appleseed story.
What can you tell us about Johnny Appleseed that inspires John Marek?
What? You know what? He was a very, very special man, and not very few people could do what he could do. And you know what that was?
What's that?
He could read. At that time, nobody could read. They didn't have time to learn to read. So he would visit the plantations, and he would visit all the pioneers, and he would sit around and he would read to them.
Mm-hmm.
And all the animals loved him. He never had an enemy. Wow. Wonderful man.
Yeah.
Wonderful man. And he lived to be 74 years old.
Uh-huh.
And when everybody at that time, 34, 40 was that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
He never carried a gun.
Uh-huh.
And he loved the animals. I could go on.
Did he actually go around spreading the seeds of apple trees?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He died in Fort Wayne, Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and he planted apple seeds all the way across Ohio and Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
It was very important. The apple seed was very important to the settlers. He would start an apple orchard here, and then he'd leave it with the local people, and he would move on and start another apple orchard, and on and on and on.
You could say that John Marek does pretty much the same thing, spreading seeds of fun nourished with a bit of inspirational insight for those young minds. If your school, club, group, or organization would like more information on John Marek, he's anxious to hear from you. Contact him directly. We thank John for sharing his day with us and wish him the best out on the highways and byways of this Great Lakes state.